have not seen, AJ. This is real. I have not seen.
It wasn't me.
8-6. You did good.
Boom.
Whoa.
Comes down to tonight, boys.
We got 2 tonight. Okay. All right. I think I know which way I'm leaning so far in these 2 games.
All right. Which way?
We'll see, won't we?
Well, I'd just like to know which way I'm going to be forced to go here, which will be.
I don't know yet, but I'm a big Baker Mayfield fan, and I do like Justin Herbert.
Okay. All right, I'm okay with that. If that's how this ends up going, I'm okay if that's how this ends up going.
But I don't know, though. Actually, I'm not exactly sure because C.J. Stroud is the man.
Whoa.
And Dino is legit.
We made our decision already. Didn't you already make your decision?
I didn't make any decisions yet. I just told you where I'm leaning, bud.
Do you want to pick him right now?
He should have to send his picks off of air.
AJ, what's your pick?
For which one?
First game, Buccaneers-Texans. What's the money on right now?
The money.
Give me the Bucks at +2.5 or +3, whatever it is.
52% on the Bucks.
Okay, 52% on the Bucks. +2.5 is the biggest he can get.
The odds are yes, +2.5 is the biggest he can get.
Okay, so that means I'm on the Texans -2.5. And for second game, you got?
Give me the Chargers.
All right, and I'm on Pete Carroll on his birthday in the Raiders +3.5. Is that the most? Can I get 4?
3.5 is across the board.
Okay, so I got +3.5 with the Raiders and -2.5 with the Texans at home. D-Butt, do you like the picks? Who do you like?
I got Texans at home as well, -2.5, and then Chargers on the road, ruining Pete Carroll's birthday. They win and they cover.
In Las Vegas, they just had
That's a tough barn. Tough barn.
I am a little afraid of that hook, but it is what it is.
They do. Thank you for coming through.
Thanks for the hospitality. You guys, I'd never been to a stadium. The vibes were so high. People were so excited. I hadn't been, you just get, it's infectious. Like when people are going that crazy.
Yeah.
And you see the Peyton Manning statue out front. You see the, the McAfee statue. They're starting to build it, right?
Yeah, no.
And no, they're not. But they will. But they will. We got to believe. What do you say? He goes, dude, Rodgers has very few red zone interceptions. We held DK to 20 yards, a defense without Witherspoon. I mean, that's the thing. I think going into the game, I was nervous because I'm like, we are shortchanged, but we got Big Cat, we got SD Card, we got Mikey McD. I don't know. I feel good. Losing last week sucked, and I think a lot of Hawks fans started to panic because we missed the playoffs by 1 game last year. So I mean, you can probably attest to this better, but I know it's early in the season. Chill. It's always wild to me. I mean, you're the same athletes that ripped it up that are just so chill, dude. Cal, I'm like thinking he's this, and I was telling the boys at the suite last night. The Mariners let me go down and roast them during spring training and then suit up. And my buddy Albert's down there shooting content. When you get into the cage sometimes, and more often than not, we're like, all right, 60 miles per hour, maybe softball. I had a long night last night, And you get in there, maybe it's 70, 80, and I just hit one right off the sweet spot into like deep outfield. And I'm running the bases, and I get back, and I'd used Cal's bat. I'd gone up to Cal right before and was like, can I use your bat? And he's like, yeah, go for it. And so I get that shot, and I go up to him after. I go, dude, I put a little extra juju in this for you. If you have a wild season this year, it's because of this moment right here. And Cal takes the bat and goes like this, and then he's like, dude, this is it. Let this be the moment that if I have a crazy year, that it's because of you using my bat. And I turn over to see Albert with the camera, and he's over in the corner on his phone, and I go, bust down to the Kingdom to watch, Rick Meyer, Chris Warren. I mean, yeah, dude. Holmgren came in, that changed the game. Hasselbeck, Sean Alexander. I mean, it's so. And then I went to SC 01 to 05. So during the Trojan War years, when it was Pete, Reggie Bush, Mike Williams, Dwayne Garrett, Leinart, obviously, and it was Lindell. Yeah. But it was Kobe Shaq Lakers in LA. But SC football was king, dude. Everyone had a jersey and of every player, and it was bananas. So when Pete went to Seattle, I was fired up, which is why it was sad when he left for a bit, because it was like, oh, I've been with this guy for 17 years more or less. But it's awesome, dude.
Yeah, you guys kicked him out.
Yeah. It would have been cool to let him, I guess, finish one more. Those things are so complicated. I think it's really
tough.
And it seemed like I watched Pete, I think on Mike Robb and Beast Mode's podcast, and he said something about that. Philosophies were just different towards the end, and he wanted it to go one way and knew it was kind of the beginning of the end anyway, and so they just kind of, cut it short sooner than later. But Mikey McDonald is crushing it. This is his first full year, really, like where he feels like it's his team. And I was at camp. They let me call the Chiefs-Hawks preseason game, and I don't think it'll happen again. I pitched a lot of catchphrases, like Jake Bobo had 2 touchdowns, and on the second one I go, somebody check my watch, it's touchdown time. And Steve Rabel was like, oh, can you just stop talking? and then Torrey Horton, I think, got a touchdown, and I was like, I go, someone open back up the kitchen. We're serving touchdown salad. And so I got to know Sam then, right before he got drafted, and he's just so dialed in, man. And he's just matured, I guess is the word I'd use, but he's also just like ready to, he's finally the guy, right? He's got like 3 years to be the forefront of a team, so.
Going to Pittsburgh breaks some hearts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's a huge win.
Seattle's always kind of one of those teams that don't get talked about enough, especially in the national media.
We love that.
Yeah, obviously you've had some great moments with them. Who would be, we talk about Mount Rushmores a lot back in the think tank. Who would be your Seattle Seahawks Mount Rushmore?
Ooh. Man, I got to throw Joey Galloway in there, just right up top. Of
course.
Just because when I started, I think that was probably around between 10 and 14 when you kind of find your sports fandom, I think in any city, right? I remember, the first sports moment I had, and I'll get right back to that, was my mom took me to a Mariners game. Hasselbeck was...
Russell Wilson, good call, AJ.
Can I be honest? I love Russ. I think a lot of good memories. The same way,
Hasselbeck over Russ?
No. I'm just saying, this is a sidebar.
Oh, okay.
Loved Russ and for the memories. I think the way things shook out at the end, bad news bears, dude. Love you. But I think that interception should not have happened. I think Russ had I think he could have just called an audible, baby. You hear that call,
so you want Russ to call out of that play?
I think you call out of that 1,000 times every time.
Okay.
But I think
you want to be the hero.
You want to be the hero, dude.
Yeah.
And I think, it's so funny, I was telling Connor, I go, because, anytime I meet a Pats fan, that day is one of the, I went to the bowl in MetLife where the Hawks, took care of Denver, where nobody picked us, Watching this snap go over Peyton's head and everyone goes nuts. And I'm like, there's a lot of Hawks fans here, right? And so cut to the next year, I'm like, I'm going to fly up to Seattle and party in the streets. I flew my pops up with all my best buds from college, all their buddies. We're in about 50 people in one of these community rooms in their condo. And Jermaine Kearse makes that wild circus catch. You're thinking David Tyree, this is going to happen again to the Pats, down to the wire. And then Marshawn runs in, and I remember he gets stopped. And I just look over at my dad, and I go, ah. And he goes, what? I go, I feel like we needed to get it on that one.
Yeah.
So we're going beast mode. We're going
Matt Hasselbeck.
Hasselbeck.
Definitely dog.
Joey Galloway. Man, you're going to love this one. Cam Chancellor, dude. Say game Sherman, Earl Thomas. Dude, you can go down the list.
Browner.
You could put the Legion of Boom in there as one of the...
You could, but I think Cam...
You don't even want to do that. I was giving you an out.
Yep.
But you're like, nah.
No. Well, but that's obvious, dude. They obviously were... That was... There'll never be a group like that ever. The way that it got put together with Wagner and KJ and them all being so young and so on the same page, and it was insane to watch. It was like, the same way people talk about in Seattle if you got to go see Griffey play live or getting to see Jordan. Every city I think has a version of that guy. That's what it was like going to Hawks games.
And you got to see Danny Dimes yesterday in Indy.
He looked good.
In the Lighthouse.
Yeah.
Dude, you guys going, when you were saying, man, we just hasn't been excitement like this in a hot minute, and feeling that in the stadium, and when, what's your field goal kicker's name?
Spencer Shrader.
Yeah,
Spencer Shrader. There we go. Just came up short.
And right.
Yeah, it
was bad ball early.
But then the one down the middle,
you can't cheat. They're cheating.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I be honest? When you said to me at one point, you go, if we lose this game, you're never welcome back. Not only in the suite, you said in the city. And then, and we believed it. And even Sally was like, I second that. And I was like, I thought we were friends. And then I sang my heart out for your birthday. By the way, you guys just have all the right things clicking in that stadium.
Right now.
Whoa.
But this is 2-0 at home, right? So, I don't know how you are on the road. Time will tell, but...
we're going to be even better.
Find out next week.
Dimes is a road
tough Titans.
I'll tell you this, though. Confidence
Water.
in any avenue, right, is, huge. You get a good, obviously, once... coming off these 5 sold-out shows at Helium, which was shout out to everybody that came to the shows. Yo, your boy Derek came last night. Derek on mic.
Attaboy Murph.
Dive into him. I don't think this one's pissed off. Hashtag I don't want to overreact, but, says Connor, everyone and anyone can see it. Some will deny it, some will laugh at it, but it's too obvious to avoid. The Pats are going to win a Super Bowl with Vrabel in May. Not this year. Maybe. But at some point. Those two will hoist the Lombardi. Pats are back, Jack. Con man, not an overreaction.
No. All you're really looking for is a great head coach and a great quarterback, and the Patriots got both of them. I mean, there's other spots they need to get better at. Whatever, I don't care. This year we're not going to win the Super Bowl because next year we might, and then the year after, and then all of a sudden, 15 years later, the Pats have been the 1, 2, or 3 seed with Mike Vrabel at the helm. Feel very good about it.
How do we feel about the Patriots maybe being back at them?
You know, it's good for football when the Pats are doing well.
Oh, I don't want to hear it.
That is so interesting. You would say something like that. That is so interesting.
Look, I feel bad. I'm over the Super Bowl loss. Times are changing.